Well. The Dallas Cowboys OTAs are in full effect. And while we didn't hear a whole lot today, there are plenty of storylines that we're going to be looking for throughout these OTAs. And I have put together 12 storylines, just my own, 12 storylines that I believe that everybody need to be looking out for as it applies to the Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And if you like this video, don't forget at the end to please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And if you haven't become a channel member or subscribed yet, please do. We have a lot of great things coming in the future. Now let's talk facts. OTAs, a very big deal for the Dallas Cowboys. And the reason why these are a very big deal for the Dallas Cowboys is because while I will not say necessarily it's like no other, but it is like no other that we've seen over the last few years. I mean, things just didn't quite seem right to me, at least with Mike McCarthy. But now with Brian Schottenheimer, man, this seems like a breath of fresh air. It doesn't feel like it did when Mike McCarthy came on. I mean, this feels like a breath of fresh air. When you think about the fact that the Cowboys did more in free agency, probably than they did combined over the time when Mike McCarthy was here, if not more close to it. And then when you think about the great draft the Dallas Cowboys had, I mean, they've had some great drafts before, but they seem to hit on all cylinders on this one. I mean, especially when you think about a player like Tyler Booker, Donovan Ezeraku, Savon Revel Jr. I mean, when you think about the steal of Jaden Blue, and I think Phil Maffa is going to be an absolute monster of a running back too. I mean, this Dallas Cowboys draft was absolutely great. And then, we were looking for a wide receiver in the draft, and people were disappointed because the Cowboys didn't get Ted McMillan. The Cowboys didn't get any one of the other top three wide receivers like Matthew Golden and so on. The Cowboys circled the block, came back, and got George Pickens. So these OTAs with the rookies, with the free agents, with even the veterans, and let us not forget the UDFAs, man, I am telling us there are some great storylines. And I believe this team is going to be better for it. So, with all that being said, I have put together 12, what I believe to be 12 very important storylines as it applies to the Dallas Cowboys. So these are these are my 12 storylines. And so, without further ado, number 1, the coaching staff. This is a big deal. The front office is finally doing what it's supposed to do. I've been saying this since I started this channel about 7 months ago. Championships begin in the front office. If you look at a lot of the championship teams over the last few years, it started in the front office. Whether it begins with the power the front office gives the GM, whether it begins with the power that the front office or the owners give the GM and the coach together, championships begin in the front office. And the Cowboys have been doing what they're supposed to do. Brian Schottenheimer, it seems like that Brian Schottenheimer has had some not only a lot of input, but he's had some very positive input as it applies to this team. And so when we think about the Cowboys coaching staff, we've talked about the players, but for me, the thing that really got me excited from the beginning was the coaching staff. The Dallas Cowboys put together an absolute great coaching staff from around the league and from college. Brian Schottenheimer did his research. And so we've heard things that this coaching staff has talking about being physical, talking about being violent, talking about the culture change and all of those different things. Okay, all of that is good. So now we need to see you come on this practice field, come into OTAs, and let's see how do these coaches, how do these players gel, and can they apply all the things they've been talking about. The coaching staff has to gel, coaching staff and the players have to gel. So, storyline for me, coaching staff. Number 2, Dak's participation. How much will Dak participate in OTAs? And if he does, what does it look like? I mean, we know that Dak Prescott is coming, he's basically rehabbing. He's coming off of the hamstring injury. So the question becomes, how much? How much does he participate? Will they let him do some of the walkthroughs? I got a strange feeling they're not going to let him do anything full speed. And I think some of the 7-on-7 stuff in particular is full speed. So again, got to remember, Dak Prescott hasn't played a game in the NFL since the Atlanta Falcon game around, week 8 or 9? So if Dak Prescott doesn't get a chance to do anything in OTAs, and of course we know he's not going to do anything, or will probably be very limited in training camp, and then when we think about preseason, Thursday night opener will be the first time Dak Prescott has played football in quite a while. So again, I'm very interested in Dak's participation. Number 3, Michael's participation. Now, I think we've been saying this wrong. Michael Parsons has a contract. The issue is Michael Parsons doesn't have the extension that he wants. And again, man, I'm not going to beat this dead horse on Michael Parsons, and I don't have to be the highest paid conversation to now. He's going to probably be the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. I'll tell you this, I wish they'd go ahead and get this contract over with because we know they're going to do it. But in the meanwhile, how much will he participate in OTAs? Will he be an in-camp holdout? Will he do some of the walkthroughs, but not any of the running, the running plays? And what I mean by running plays, when they're actually running the plays at half speed or whatever they do. What will Michael's participation be? But I do think it's important that Michael Parsons is on the field in some capacity so that they can get this defense in sync and learn this thing early so we don't be in Thanksgiving and they're talking about we finally got the plays. Stop it. I'm really wondering, what is Michael's participation going to be, or do the Cowboys get that deal done before OTAs are over? Number 4, Will Grier versus Joe Milton III. There is going to be a battle in this training camp for the backup quarterback position. And let us not forget Donovan Smith. So when we think about the quarterback battle that's going to go on, and a lot of people are already crowning Joe Milton III as being Dak Prescott's backup, I wouldn't be so quick to do that. Will Grier can play. And I know, people see 6'5" and they see the splash plays and they see he can throw the ball 95 yards. I saw him throw an orange almost 100 yards. Okay, big deal. You don't do none of that in the game. I mean, the game isn't about throwing it 95 yards unless we're talking about a Hail Mary at halftime or a Hail Mary at the end of the game. The question is, how good, how do you get the plays down? Can you throw the ball where it needs to be thrown to your wide receivers? Can you be consistently a good quarterback in this league? Those are the questions Joe Milton have to answer. Will Grier, I'm telling you, Will Grier, not a starter in this league, but Will Grier can play this game. And he is going to give Joe Milton everything he can handle as far as trying to get that number 2 position. I remember last year we were talking about Trey Lance was going to beat out Cooper Rush. Didn't happen. I'm very interested in this battle because people better prepare themselves. Joe Milton might not even beat out Will Grier. Number 5, Deuce Vaughn. I've been seeing some people on X, man, and they've been talking about the Cowboys giving Deuce Vaughn an opportunity, the Cowboys using Deuce Vaughn. I would have said the same thing last year. This is a brand new year. And the question is, will Deuce Vaughn get an opportunity? Well, Deuce Vaughn, we were having a discussion and people were talking about packages and the way the Cowboys could use him. Why would I want to use Deuce Vaughn in packages when I now have a bigger, better, faster Deuce Vaughn? His name is Jaden Blue. Any package you tell me that you're going to put Deuce Vaughn in, I'm saying, why wouldn't you put Jaden Blue in that package? But I'm wondering if the Cowboys are going to give him an opportunity. I do believe his days are numbered. So how will he perform? What will his role be in these OTAs? Do the Cowboys plan on keeping Deuce Vaughn? I really want to see that. Number 6, Mazi Smith. And there are a lot of people out there talking about, oh man, Mazi Smith, 3rd year, defensive tackle, 1 tech. He's going to make another step. And then in the same breath, they're talking about the Cowboys need to go get another 1 tech defensive tackle. I just wonder if some of us who are saying that Mazi is going to take that step while also wanting another 1 tech, are we saying that we want some insurance? Are we saying we want some insurance in case Mazi doesn't take that step? I do believe Mazi is going to take that step. Mazi, in his first season, Dan Quinn made him lose weight. Came under Mike Zimmer, he gained weight. So now in the 3rd year, he's back at his playing weight. And we'll see what he looks like under this new defensive regime. But again, question is, will he break out in his 3rd year? We're going to see. I hope he does. Number 7, Tyler Guyton. Tyler Guyton, I mean, the Cowboys are going to have to decide very fast. They got to get this line together quick. And I hope they get it together in OTAs. But the Cowboys have to see what Tyler Guyton is. Question is Tyler Guyton a left tackle or is he a right tackle? I mean, they say that his natural position is left tackle, but you look in college, he played right tackle. And he said, though, I guess they're saying the only reason why they moved him to right tackle because there was an injury. Well, when you look at the fact, you think about it, even in college, you didn't play a lot as far as left tackle goes. So the question now is for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, it's kind of showing. He did not look good at left tackle last year. There are people that are saying he's going to take a step. He's got the strength, he's got the power, and my issue with him was his footwork. So Tyler Guyton, I'm telling us, we know that Cooper Beebe, Tyler Booker, and Tyler Smith, I think that right there is going to be off the chain. The question is Tyler Guyton. And while we're talking about Tyler Guyton, is he a left tackle or a right tackle? We got to include Terrence Steele in the Tyler Guyton conversation. Because if Guyton isn't a left tackle, then that means we would have to move him to right tackle, or could he beat Steele out at right tackle? And who knows, Brock Hoffman may even try to give a battle in there and try to get to right tackle, because I don't think Brock Hoffman can play left. But again, if Tyler Guyton isn't left tackle material, the Cowboys got to figure this out early on. And I hope they figure it out in OTAs so that if need be, they may have to go out there and get one unless they let Austin Smith be the left tackle. But we're going to see, will Tyler Guyton in his 2nd year, will he take a step? Number 8, this is going to be one of the best battles in training camp. Jalen Tolbert versus Jonathan Mingo. I've been saying this over the last couple of weeks since we got George Pickens. The number 3 wide receiver on this team becomes even more important now because we will face some teams that may be able to cover CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. Maybe you put the best cornerback on CeeDee Lamb and you double George Pickens or vice versa. There will be teams that may be able to do some things with what the Cowboys are doing, which I don't think there'll be many, but there will be a few, and especially once you get down in the playoffs. So who will emerge as the number 3, which in reality will be the number 2, because CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens are both number 1s. So in reality, this is why we need the number 3 to be that much stronger, because he's going to be a number 2 in a sense. Can we get a number 2 performance this year out of Tolbert? Will Tolbert make another step? Will Tolbert feel disrespected that they didn't see him as a number 2? Will Jonathan Mingo prove with that number 2 grade the Cowboys have on him? Will Mingo prove that he can take Tolbert's position? Can he work himself some reps into the number 2 position? We're going to see. This is going to be one of the best battles in training camp. Number 9, Kaiir Elam. And the reason why I'm saying Kaiir Elam is we got questions in the defensive backfield. We don't know when Trayvon Diggs is coming back. Savon Revel Jr. will be back during training camp, I'm pretty sure. But we still are going to have to figure out who's going to take the spot of Jordan Lewis, or do we move Deron Bland inside for a while and let Kaiir Elam and Savon Revel Jr. play on the outside? We need to figure this out early rather than later. I really want to see what Kaiir Elam looks like in OTAs. former first-round draft pick, got slowed down in Buffalo by an injury. I do believe that Kaiir Elam can be one of these cornerbacks of the Cowboys and could really, really make this secondary that much better. And so the question is, can he emerge and challenge Revel or become the slot corner? I mean, Trayvon Diggs is more than likely, I'm pretty sure he's not going to start the season. And with the way the Cowboys have his deal designed, we may get to see Deron Bland, Trayvon Diggs, Savon Revel Jr. for a little while on the field this year. But the Cowboys, if he doesn't come back and be like really good, you can see him gone. And Kaiir Elam didn't pick up his fifth-year option. Don't think that means they don't want him. That just means they don't want to pay that big price tag, because they may be able to get him for that for 3 years rather than 1. But I want to see, what does Kaiir Elam do? And what does this secondary look like in OTAs? Number 10, I do believe there is going to be a safety battle in this camp. My question is will Marquise Bell and Wanye Thomas become the starting safeties? Can they beat out Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson? And I'm going to tell you something. Safety play was terrible last year. They did a little bit better towards the end of the season, but they were terrible for the most part. And I don't believe the Cowboys signed Marquise Bell to play special teams or whatever the case may be. No, I believe they signed him because they want him to compete for that safety position. So I want to see if Wanye Thomas and Marquise Bell in these OTAs leading into training camp, will they be able to challenge Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson? Number 11, the UDFAs. Now, the Cowboys have quite a few UDFAs. But there are 2 in particular that are so polarizing. So many people were talking about Trayshawn Holden. They were talking about he's a dog out of Oregon. The Cowboys got the Oregon's wide receiver coach. He's here. And so Trayshawn Holden is going to challenge these other wide receivers. He's going to challenge Jalen Tolbert. He's going to challenge Jonathan Mingo. And then when the Cowboys signed the UDFAs, Trayshawn Holden may have the absolute lowest contract. The Cowboys signed him to a $3,000 contract with no guarantee. What? Trayshawn Holden said he felt like he was disrespected not being drafted. Well, he got disrespected again, because the Cowboys didn't even give him a guaranteed contract. So he messes up. He doesn't even get the $3,000. I think this has something to do with the wide receiver coach being here. He said he was going to do everything he could do to get Trayshawn Holden in the Cowboys training camp. So maybe this is a favor. And I think there may have been somebody mentioned some behavioral issues. So maybe this is the Cowboys saying, show us. Show us. If you show us, you can get a bigger deal. And a lot of people, they're saying he's him. Well, we're going to see, because I think with George Pickens, there's another spot going off this team. I do believe Trayshawn Holden has an uphill battle. Then also, there's a linebacker, I think out of Syracuse. His name is Justin Barrett. He's on the opposite end of the spectrum. He got for a UDFA, he got a huge contract. I think something like $234 million or something like that, with a $20,000 signing bonus. He got one of the highest UDFA contracts. So it seems like to me that the Cowboys are banking on him making this team. As a matter of fact, Pro Football Focus did a profile on him talking about like he's one of the best UDFAs out there. So, and they're talking about he may be able to make an impact on the Dallas Cowboys team this year. We're going to see. So as it pertains to UDFAs, these are the 2 that I really have my eye on. And then number 12, post-June 1st cuts. While this is not necessarily an OTA thing, it will happen during a part of OTAs. And I would love to see if the Cowboys are going to make a move. Will they address defensive tackle? In particular, bringing in another one tech. A lot of people, they're not sold on Joe Toia. I've heard his name pronounced so many different ways. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Or Jay Toia. A lot of people I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but again, a lot of people are saying that these defensive tackles, they take longer to develop. And so to have him as Mazi's backup probably is not a good idea. So will the Cowboy address that one tech to put somebody in rotation with Mazi, or be an insurance policy in case Mazi doesn't turn out? So I'm very interested to see what happens on post June 1st. Who the other teams are going to cut, and will there be somebody available, or will the Cowboys trade for somebody like DJ Reader? I also want to know cornerbacks. Post June 1st, maybe they bring in a cornerback. Maybe somebody cuts a cornerback and they try to really solidify the room. And then, of course, running back, even though some people say Javonte Williams, Jaden Bluefield, Maffa, they are going to be the running backs, and we'll see if Deuce Vaughn gets his opportunity. But will the Cowboys say, hey, during OTAs, post June 1st, will the Cowboys go get another running back? These are the questions that I think is going to be storylines in these OTAs. And then I'm going to give you one bonus. The Goodfellas. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens are going to be one of the best duos in the NFL, if not the best duo in the NFL. And it is going to be very exciting to see them in OTAs. I want to, see especially George Pickens getting acclimated to the team. And I'm hoping that in some form or fashion, Dak Prescott's going to be able to get out there on the field with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. But I know the Joneses are probably going to limit Dak Prescott. But again, the Goodfellas, man, they're going to be exciting in OTAs, and I do think there will be some great things. I mean, they're not in competition with anybody, but I do believe it's still a great storyline since we got George Pickens right on time for these OTAs. And so, again, those are my 12 storylines. Now, y'all tell me in the comments, what are your 12 storylines? What are the storylines that you're looking for in OTAs for this team to get better as we are revving up for the 2025 NFL season? Y'all tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Until the next time, let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.